Ever feel like you're on a road to nowhere? I did, for 40 years. I thought a steady job, a perfect family, and a neat little life would make me whole. But life's no highway. It's a Mississippi back road, full of twists, potholes, and breathtaking views. Today's my 40th birthday, and I'm sharing the lessons from my winding path. From daring leaps to crushing losses, fate's pull, and finding my truest self. I brought a few thinkers today with me that helped me see I'm not alone on this journey, and neither are you. Pause if you want, or share your thoughts in the comments below. If you're feeling stuck or searching for meaning, stick with me. Hit subscribe, and let's take this road together. I used to think a steady job was the dream. Safe, predictable, a clear path to success. For years, I taught high school chemistry here in Mississippi, thinking that was my road, but the grind wore me down. Long hours, endless grading, and the sinking feeling I was stuck in a loop, year after year. I needed more. I craved something alive. I was standing on the edge of a choice: stay in my current career or reinvent myself. So, I left. I quit teaching for a lab tech job in industry, unsure if I'd land. Soren Kierkegaard described that choice as a leap of faith, acting despite the unknown, trusting in something you can't fully see. He believed life's biggest moments come when you stand at the edge of uncertainty, heart pounding, stomach twisting, and choose to jump anyway. Kierkegaard saw that the leap was more than just risk. It's about faith. Sometimes in yourself, sometimes in something greater. Believing the life that you're meant for is waiting for you on the other side of fear. I was the oddball ex-teacher with a master's degree in chemistry, starting over. Coworkers raised their eyebrows. Why this job? You're overqualified. They looked at me like I lost my mind. Some thought my teaching years were wasted, that my skills didn't fit. But I knew better. Teaching gave me grit, patience, and the ability to learn fast, tools that carried me forward. That leap would eventually pay off. I landed a better job, one that felt right. Kierkegaard would say that I jumped because I trusted that there was more for me, even if I couldn't see it yet. So here's my advice. Be ready to leap, even when you're unsure. That jump, whether it's a new job, a big move, or saying yes to something that scares you, might just lead you to the life you were meant to live. You leap, you land. Everything's perfect, right? Not quite. In 2020, life hit me hard. I became a dad, got furloughed, and lost my best friend to cancer. All while a global pandemic locked us away. Depression swallowed me. This was supposed to be the year when my son came into the world. A time of celebration and excitement, only to be welcomed with isolation and fear. I was a father of a family I could not provide for, while being locked away from life itself. I spent my whole life believing if I just worked hard enough, loved the right person, lived in the right place, I'd finally arrive. I checked all the boxes, but pain doesn't care about your plans. This leads us to the story of Viktor Frankl. Viktor was an Austrian psychiatrist who survived the unimaginable. Frankl endured Nazi concentration camps, losing his family, career, and freedom. However, he made a discovery that changed how we see life. Happiness isn't something you chase. It emerges when you live with meaning. In the camps, Frankl watched people find purpose despite horrific suffering. Some held on to a reason to live, a child to see again, a story to tell. he realized the ones who made it weren't always the strongest physically, but those who found something worth living for. His book, A Man's Search for Meaning, shares the truth. Happiness comes when your life aligns with purpose. Frankl found meaning comes in 3 ways. First, through work. Not just a job, but a calling. It could be raising a child, building a community, or creating something that outlives you. It's about contribution, not status. Second, through love. Not just romantic love, but deep friendships, kindness, the people who make you feel seen. If no one truly knows you, you're not fully living. Third, through suffering. The hardest, but the most powerful. When pain enters your life, and it will, you can let it break you or transform you. Frankl himself turned his suffering into a mission to help others find meaning. He said, "When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves." So if you've ever felt lost in life, ask yourself, what am I creating? Who am I loving? And what suffering am I transforming into purpose? Answer those, and you'll never feel lost again. Even as 2020 faded, I felt trapped. Work was back, my son was growing, but something gnawed at me. I tried everything. Workouts, better sleep, nights out with friends. Still, depression clung, whispering fears of the next blow it'll take. Therapy helped, but it wasn't enough. I was choosing the right actions, but missing the deeper spark. In Mississippi, faith runs deep, and I'd grown up in a church, even studied theology in college. But I drifted, thinking my old Bible knowledge was enough. That was like knowing how to lift weights, but never hitting the gym. I realized I had a choice, to keep drifting, or to chase what truly mattered. I sought a preacher, not just any voice, but ones whose words cut through. He said you could do all the right things, but without a guiding belief, God, for instance, you'll stay stuck. It hit like lightning. I'd believed in God, but paused living it. William Glasser's choice theory clicked here. We shape our lives by choosing what meets our needs: connection, purpose, freedom, joy. I'd been neglecting those, so I chose to rebuild. I studied scripture, prayed daily, let faith steer my decisions again. Within months, my world shifted. A higher paying job landed, easing financial strain and fueling a sense of achievement. Co-workers became like family, seeing and valuing me in ways I hadn't felt in years. My worries, once wild, were caged. I found freedom and faith by choosing humility and gratitude. By prioritizing a belief that grounded me, doors opened to relationships and resources that made my life vibrant. It wasn't luck. It was choosing what filled my soul, balancing people, purpose, and provision in a way that felt whole. If you ever feel stuck, like life's quality isn't what it could be, pause and ask, what kind of relationships do I want, and who do I want to share them with? What possessions do I truly need to thrive? And most importantly, what belief, faith, purpose, or guiding principle will steer those choices to build a life that's full? Faith is part of Mississippi's heartbeat, and it was a lifeline I needed. But fatherhood taught me who I am. Being a dad's a wild ride. I don't just mean the chaos of toys everywhere. It's the deeper stuff. I used to obsess. Is my son hitting milestones? Will he excel in school and other activities? I thought being a great dad meant having every answer, controlling every outcome. But Austrian psychologist Alfred Adler saw family differently. Not just a unit, but a space to grow, connect, and rewrite our stories to live more fully. He believed relationships shape us, not perfection. I used to believe the biggest lie, that my mistakes, regrets, and the labels others gave me carved a path I couldn't escape. Adler, who studied why people stay trapped in unhappiness, found it's not what happened to you. It's the story you tell yourself about it. If you believe you're a failure, you'll act like one. If you think you're unworthy, you'll settle for less. If you think you're stuck, you'll stay there. But Adler's radical idea was one that you're not a prisoner of your past. You're the author of your future. You're as free as you decide to be. What if your past is full of pain or failure? Adler said your past is a fact, but the meaning you give it is your choice. Those events only define you if you let them. I've learned to step back with my son, letting him be himself. Whether he's asking why the sky's blue or just giggling at something funny. I still give the structure a father should, but I don't let my past, or his, define our future. That's how my idea of family has grown. From needing to have all the answers, to embracing connection, to creating a space where we can all just be. It's in those moments where I've found truth. Family is where we find belonging, where we grow into who we're meant to be. My wife's been my rock, holding us steady through my darkest days. But marriage isn't a straight path. I've faced temptations, moments where I hid from the truth. Heavy words, but real. I thought love would be easy once we tied the knot. No more challenges. Instead, I built a mask around my face, pretending everything was fine, while chasing feelings I thought I'd lost. That mask brought pain, distance, tension, quiet resentment. Carl Rogers, an American psychologist who pioneered humanistic psychology, believed that the key to a meaningful life is authenticity, living as your true self, not the version others expect. He taught that we grow when we stop pretending and start being honest with ourselves. Hiding behind everything's fine kept me stuck. So I got honest with myself, with her. I faced what I was searching for and why. It was awkward and messy, but sharing our flaws healed us. And every moment since then has felt the most authentic. Love's hard, but we're all learning. If you ever feel like you're in a relationship where things feel false, ask yourselves these questions. When do I feel like I'm hiding my true self? Maybe adjusting my words or holding back what I really feel. What would it look like to show up as I really am, even if it's messy or hard? Your spouse cannot love you completely if you hold back parts of you. Stop pretending and start living. In 2020, I lost my best friend to cancer. He was goodness itself, loved by our whole community. One of the last memories I have is us grilling, celebrating my wife being pregnant, and playing board games that he always loved. Since one of his passions was cooking, he made us sticky toffee pudding that would knock your socks off. However, now, that taste brings tears. Psychologist Carl Jung once believed that we all have a shadow, hidden parts of ourselves we're afraid to face, like fears or buried dreams. My shadow was fear of being truly seen, of showing my real self and risking rejection. His loss left a hole, showing me how much I craved connection. That pain lit a fire. At 40, making friends feels tough. Everyone's got their crew. I'd go to local events, maybe a community barbecue or a church fish fry, smiling and chatting, but leaving with the ache for something more. That ache pushed me to look inward, to stop hiding. Jung said that growth comes from embracing your shadow. So I did. Starting this YouTube channel became my way of doing that. It was like unearthing a dream I'd buried for years. Filming locations, sharing Mississippi stories, getting this ache out of my head. I've embraced my creative side I'd always thought wasn't serious enough. A step towards being my whole self by bringing that shadow into the light. And through that authenticity, I've started finding my people. Traveling all around Mississippi, striking up conversations at concerts, lingering around after filming just to talk. Those small moments give me purpose, showing me that connection isn't just about finding others. It's about letting your real self shine so others can find you. So what's one dream you've been hiding from the world? And what's stopping you from chasing it? This channel showed me the power of being real. Not just to connect, but to see my journey's beauty. It takes me back to teaching, judging science fairs. I'd ask students, if you could do it all over, what would you do differently? I wanted them to reflect, to see growth. Some froze, some rehearsed, but the best paused, then spoke from the heart. There's no right answer, just a real one. That question's stuck with me, and now I'm asking myself the same. Looking back, I see a man who leapt into new careers, wrestled with loss, and rebuilt faith and family. Each step felt like a piece of the puzzle. But the picture's still forming, and that's okay. Feeling broken isn't a flaw. It's a promise. It means there's room to grow, to love deeper, to chase dreams you haven't even named yet. So I'm asking you now, if you could do it all over, what would you do differently? Not to dwell on regrets, but to see where you're headed. Maybe it's forgiving someone, starting that project you've shelved, or just being kinder to yourself. Pause and think. What's the one thing you change? Not to fix the past, but to shape your future. Here's the truth. Every leap you take, every pain you transform, every mask you drop, brings you closer to who you're meant to be. Keep reflecting. Keep choosing. Keep showing up as you are. Do these things, and you'll realize you were never broken to begin with, just unfinished.